I don't know if you can see my truck behind me, but I've just broke down. So here's the shaft. There's the shaft. Broken. Here's my replacement axle shaft, which is a later one, been modified. I hope it's okay. It isn't quite on as far as I would like. So you can imagine if that was 10 thou smaller and that was 80 thou further that way, that would be good. Okay, let's see how long it takes to bust this axle down. I've just loosened that with a torque wrench, with a big socket thing. I've had a long think about it and I've decided to take the shaft out and shorten it. Not shorten it, turn the taper down. You know, when something's bugging you. So I thought before I assemble it up any further, I'll strip it down. Treat all that as a dummy run. It's all good. I think that's the same way around as it was. Okay, there's my shaft. So how long did that take? Well, it says there 20 minutes and 48 seconds. That's how long that film's been running. Which ain't bad, is it, really, when you think about it. Right, okay, I've been brave and I've put the shaft in the lathe. I've set this angle to match the taper and I've turned it and I've took approximately 10 thou off. It's very, very hard to measure. I'll show you what I did to measure it. I put this rule across the jaws, then had the rule sitting against the taper like that, and then brought the calipers together. Obviously I needed two hands to do it. Brought the calipers together and took the reading. So I had two readings and there was 10 thou difference in the readings. You just have to take my word for it. I found that with the jaws round backwards I could just get enough of the taper on show. So I'm going to see what that looks like with a bit of lapping compound on it now. Right, okay, let's put a bit of cutting paste on here. See what sort of pattern we get. It looks possibly a little bit light at that end of the taper, but I don't know, maybe I'll just give it another go. And I don't think I could actually physically set it up to make it any different than that. To be honest though, it's probably still 10 times better than a lot of them. You know what I mean? A lot of the old ones that have been running around for years. Oh, that looks good actually. Yeah, that looks really good. So it must have been very close. Yeah, I'll tell you what, just for look, I'll give it one more go and then call it good, I think. That looks good, that does. Yeah, it looks good. If ever you've used these rags on that sort of stuff, just chuck them straight away afterwards. You should do this with any early Ford rear hub. Not one that's been messed about, you know, even if you just dismantled them, clean the tapers up, get any lumps off, and if there's a burr along the edge of the keyway, clean all that up, get some lapping compound, and I say lapping compound, grinding paste is what it is. It isn't anything fancy, it's what you do your valves with, you know. Okay, great. Now, I'm just crossing my fingers that I haven't taken too much off. I suspect I haven't quite taken enough off, but I didn't want to risk messing it up and going too far. It was pretty tricky to set it up, to be honest. Right, reassembling. Mustn't forget to clean the hub. There's 2 dots on one of these faces. There they are. There's the 2 dots. Can you see them? So that tells me I've got it in the right place. Having the little light on the tripod's working quite well, to be honest, I think. Let's just push all these up so that they're sort of not going to fall out. I'm leaving it just hanging out like that because I need to lift this bit quite a lot to get the banjo bolt bit past the past this radius arm. Like that. That axle stand's in the way, isn't it? Okay, so now I can lift this onto the bearing and then lift the whole thing in like that, making sure that the thing is in the right location. Right, where's all my bolts? I'm just going to do this up with the gun, if it'll do up. Look at that, lovely. That's perfect. Perfect. Absolutely blooming perfect. That's great. Just the right sort of relationship between the drum and the back plate. I'm glad I took the extra effort. Plus you've got that amount of thread sticking out now, which looks about right. Right, hello, we're back in the garage. I did a test fit of this last night to check the position of the drum, and it looks really good actually. So I'm going to whiz it off and fit it with the keyway, and then that's the final fitting then. And then I'm going to fit the shackle down there. What else am I going to do? Put some oil in it, put the wheels on, let it down off the jacks. Okay, right, let's proceed. Okay, this is the tricky bit now, where you got to fit this, fit the shackle. Now I tend to fit them from this side. Even though I can't see what I'm doing. Now this is awkward actually, because this side is tight. In other words, there's a bit of a misalignment, slight misalignment. But there is a bit of give on these things. So now that's just started in there. So I'm going to come around the back and knock that in, hopefully. If you know, if the gap is too wide, you could lower the axle. If the gap was too tight, you could raise the axle, or you could push or pull the spring, you know, in and out. But you got to get this distance more or less right. Now here's the thing, let me get you at a slightly better angle. You want this to go on there, don't you? That's not gonna go. I'll put a pry bar up there and pry it apart. That might be the quickest and easiest thing to do. But I've got to get that distance right. Maybe this screwdriver will do it. Yeah, see there's a fair bit of give there, look. So it's quite simple. Just get it on the one, pry it, get it on the other and press it home. Like that. Piece of cake, innit, really? That'll do. I can take this off now. That's not high enough. I'll just put it there for now. Clang. Can you see this? There we go. So that's done. That's Out of the way. I was given this ratchet. Right, that's better. Get a bit more oomph on it. That'll do. Okay, good. So they're all tight. That's on. And tight. That's tight. I haven't undone them. I haven't touched that side. So it's just a case of just put the get the brake pipe back in place. Just going to go put a bit of grease on the bolts. Looks alright under here. I'm looking up at that wooden bed that I fitted. That's not the best position to work at. Don't know why I've got my glasses on. Getting that backing plate off over past the end of the axle shaft. Put a very slight, oops. Well, not really much of a bend in the pipe, but I just had to pull it a little bit to get it back into the clip there. This oil is EP140. No, it's not EP, it's SAE 140, EP3. It's got no, it's like some sort of classic straight 140 oil. But this is what I had in there, and to be honest, that all those gears in that diff look really nice. The battery's gone flat on this camera and gone flat on the other one as well. But the bottom line is that I've put the wheels on. So all I need to do now is just lower it down to the floor and fit the drain plug and then tighten up all the nuts. Ha-ha. So now it's down on the level, I'm going to just let it drain off a bit more so the level's not too high. There is some coming out, you'll have to take my word for it. This is my tightening technique, which is about roughly 45 degrees and plenty of weight on it, like that. That's alright. Right, so let's see if this thing will move. Well, it moves under its own power, so that's good, isn't it? So it moves under its own power, so I'm calling that good. Can't really do a road test now. Okay, that's been a right pain, hasn't it? A voyage of discovery, as they say, and you always take a risk if you have a part that's been modified. But I believe I've been able to rework it successfully. I enjoy working on the truck, and even a job like this, you know, I enjoy doing the work. And we had a nice day out when we went to fetch the shaft anyway. I went with my wife and the dog, and we had a nice walk around the place. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for coming and joining me in the garage, and don't forget, you know, click like, leave a comment. I like people, you know, when people leave comments. So thanks very much. Bye.